Fight Fiend Forecast. I'm Joseph, the host, back for one of the most electric shows on the air, the post-weigh-in face-off show for UFC Mexico City. And I'm going to give you the props of the week. I'm going to give you the forecast of the week, the locks of the week, the dog of the week. I'm going to make up a Parlay Parfait for the people. And you can join Discord right now. You get early access to the locks, the dogs, the props, the forecast of the week, everything that I have mentioned. And Patreon will have access to all of my bets this weekend as well. $5 a month. I have a platinum pick sheet with the confidence levels and the method of victories and the round outcomes. So before we get going, smash the hell to the like button, suplex the subscribe button if you have not yet. And I'm not here to waste your guys' time and steer you guys in the wrong direction. I'm here to give you my leans. This is what I'm doing on this card. These are some of my bets. These are some valuable plays that I think could hit. Now, some of them are long shots. They're not all going to hit. That's impossible to go 100% on your bets. It happened before, but, to have that happen each and every night, that's not possible. But it is possible to be profitable. So we're going to be smart and we're going to be profitable on this card. Now, we got some long shots that could very well cash in. So maybe they're not as far-fetched as I think, and we're going to be eating fajitas at the end of this card. I can't wait. So let's get right into it. I will not go through all the face-offs, but I'm going to go through the weigh-in results here, and the only one that I really want to talk about is the two that missed weight, Edgar Chairez and Daniel Lacerda. Now, this fight is cursed. It has to be, but it's still a go. It's a catch weight now. It's going to be a scrap. Originally, I was on Daniel Lacerda. I thought he was going to get the knockout. He very well could again in this fight. Now I'm going against him. He's probably going to win by knockout as a $4 underdog. But I'm going to be smart and go with Edgar Chairez by submission in this fight. Now we've seen it in the first fight where he sunk the submission. We thought Daniel Lacerda was out. He was still awake when the ref stopped that fight, but he was not in a good position. And if he gets put in a position like that, he very well could go to sleep. If not, I don't think he's going to tap, to be honest. He's really tough and durable, so we got to be careful on this one, right? It's not a lock of the week play, Edgar Chairez. It's a very low confidence play. I actually think Daniel Lacerda by knockout would be the best bet, especially at this price tag. But he's in Mexico. It's not favoring him whatsoever, and I'm going to be smart enough to pick Edgar Chairez by submission with not the most confidence, but enough to make him my pick. And there's nothing else I'm going to waste your time about on these weigh-ins. Everybody made weight. Everybody was like a pound overweight, but they still made weight. You have to be 2 pounds to miss weight. So nobody missed weight. Everybody was 126 or 146, 156. Kind of ironic, but the elevation is going to get to a lot of these fighters. So it was probably a tough time for some of them cutting weight. They didn't want to get right down to the championship weight. And that's perfectly fine because they're going to want to save as much gas as they can for tomorrow night when they're fighting at super high elevation. Some of these fights might not last too long, and that's all right because we're going to try to capitalize. And I want everybody to capitalize on the locks of the week this week. Now, I went 3 for 3 last week. We're on a little heater now. That's 3 in a row. So I want to go for another 3. Big card here in Mexico City. And I see many Mexicans that are going to win this fight fairly easily. And my first lock out of 3 locks, all 3 of them on the main card. This kid, 19 years old, is a stud, man. And he's going to get the takedowns in this fight. Ricky was taken down 7 times last fight against a guy that got cut from the UFC. If Rosas Jr. gets him to the mat, it's going to be a problem. He's going to be searching for a submission. He's probably going to get it. That's just what it is. The UFC matchmakers know that, and that's why they set this fight up. Now, on the feet, Rosas Jr. has been working. He's been putting in that work with some heavy mitts, too. So when he puts on the UFC gloves, he's going to be a lot quicker. You know what I'm saying? So I could see the knockout as well. I'd play it inside the distance just to be the safest, but the locks of the week are just these 3 fighters on the money line. You combine them together, and you're getting a plus 200 ticket. I'm going to give you the next one, Yair Rodriguez. He's in a rematch fight against Brian Ortega. The first fight, Yair was touching him up on the feet. He was looking clean, and he was accurate as hell. Now, the only thing that Ortega can do is push him up against the fence, try to get some control time, and that's what he was trying to do. He didn't want to stand and bang with Yair. I'm not thinking he's going to want to stand and bang in front of the crowd here. I don't think he's going to want to get hit in the face or kicked in the face to a sniper. Yair's going to be able to pick his shots in this fight, and that's just what it is. I'm telling you, Yair is a solid prospect. He's another stud, and I see him getting it done, bringing home the bag for everybody. I don't think these Mexicans are the guys that are going to be a parlay buster for everybody, so 100% confidence in these two, and the third one, let me tell you, in the main event here, I've been doing terrible. And a lot of them just haven't been going our way. So we're going to capitalize here. Like I said, we got the former champion, the Mexican Brandon Moreno. He is durable as hell. He has great cardio. And in a fight where his opponent's stepping in short notice that he already fought, Brandon Royval, where he already looked like he was dominating, I mean, he should do it again. He should get the finish inside the distance. He wants to make a statement in this fight, and I believe him. Brandon Royval is a good striker, and he does have his black belt as well, so he's not going to be the easiest guy to finish. As you guys know, Pantoja couldn't finish him. But, you know, in a statement fight, short notice, I don't like it for Royval whatsoever here. I don't think he looks the most confident either, and that's a big thing. Like, mentally, how are these fighters feeling on fight week, on fight day? Are they going to bring the heat? I think Moreno's bringing the heat, and he wants to fight Pantoja once again, his arch nemesis. I know he's motivating this spot here in front of the Mexicans to go fight Pantoja for the third time. This is going to be a statement fight, and I can't wait to see it. It's going to be a great card, and now I'm going to give you the dog of the week, and the dog of the week is another Mexican killer, Jesus Aguilar. Plus 130. Seen it go to a coin flip. Jesus is now plus 100. So we lost some value. That's just what it is. You need to get that early access. You need to get in Discord right now. And it's hard to have confidence in the dog of the week when I've lost the last 3. But before that, I hit 3 in a row. And I think I can turn it around here. This Mexican's going to fight for our money. He has power in the hands. But if you look at his finishes, he only has 1 knockout. And it was against Shannon Ross. And anyone can knock out Shannon Ross. So maybe I have way too much value in that win. And you guys can fade this pick, and that's fine. You're probably going to get paid. But if you want to ride with me on this one, dog of the week, I mean, this is a Mexican that I think can get the finish as well, if you want to play it that way. Inside the distance, decision, no action. Because Mendonca could just grind out a decision. He's the taller fighter. He's going to be more rangy. And he went the distance with Javid Bastrat. A lot of people might be holding too much value in that win as well. We don't know. We don't really know what to expect in this fight. That's why it was a coin flip at one point, and that's probably the correct price. But at plus money, I'm all over Jesus Aguilar. I think he's going to really fight for our money here in front of the Mexicans. On the ground as well, he's a killer. Bunch of submission wins. Bunch of guillotines. And Mendonca, I don't think his fight IQ is the highest level. He was shooting for knee bars and shit like that against Nate Maness. And then he got TKO'd. Wasn't even defending those shots. Not the highest IQ. I will happily side with Jesus Aguilar in this fight. This guy has a pretty high fight IQ. I trust him a lot more. And next up, I'm going to pick the forecast of the week live here on the show. Didn't even look through the comments on the prediction show. You're supposed to comment hashtag forecast of the week and give me your most confident prop at plus money. So let's see who's cooking up in the comments. Who do we got here? Do we got some Gammon Girth? Hopefully, that guy is a sniper, man. And I'd tail his bet for sure. If I seen him in the comments, if you see him in Discord, you want to try to listen to that guy. He knows what he's saying. He posts some of his bets. There's forecasters posting their bets all the time in Discord. Like, some of them are pretty sharp, and you want to be aware. I don't see any comments for forecast of the week. Not one. One guy here liked the intro. Real Millen. That intro, though, dog. Let's hit him Saturday. Thanks for commenting that, but there's no forecast of the week, guys. Like, Fatal, he didn't even give a forecast of the week because Kopylov got submitted there. He probably wasn't confident enough to give a prop of the week. Sometimes, if you're the only person commenting, I got to ride with you, and I don't see any forecast of the week. So I'll go on Bet365 right now, and I'll cook one up. That's what I'm going to do. Like, I'm not impressed, and I had, 440 views on the prediction show, guys, and not one forecast of the week comment. So I got nobody to ride with. I'm going to ride with myself. That's just what I'm going to do on this card. I'm going to believe in myself and my reads. These are just the picks and plays that I forecast are going to happen. Like, you don't have to agree with it at all. That's fine. You can just be here to get entertained, stuff like that. Hear what I have to say, at least, because my forecast of the week is going to be Louis Rodriguez against Dennis Bondar. These two guys are going to be in a scrap. And it's going to be a close fight for the most part. It's priced close, 180 for Louis Rodriguez. He was a underdog on the prediction show, and I did side with him. Now, I think he's going to win this fight by a decision at 350 plus 250. And I'm seeing that Dennis Bondar is plus 210. He's more likely to win the decision. That doesn't make sense whatsoever because he's the underdog now. And I actually said Louis Rodriguez. I see it's Ronaldo Rodriguez. So I'm sorry for saying Louis Rodriguez. That's just what ESPN and Topology said. That's what I was going off. I changed it to Ronaldo Rodriguez for the slides and everything else here. So Ronaldo Rodriguez, I believe he's winning the decision here. Plus 250, that's crazy value. I don't know why it's not more likely than Bondar by a decision, but let's get paid. And if you agree that the fight's going to go the distance, but you don't really know who's going to win, look at the fight to go the distance. I think that's a really good price as well. Could be worth parlaying. And next up, I'm going to give you the props of the week. And they were -1 because I just had to make one the forecast of the week. So next week on the prediction show, please comment hashtag forecast of the week and comment your most confident prop at plus money. I was going to ride with one forecaster and put money down and make content up for them. But I'll just switch this over. And you know it, we need a dub. And we're going to the hub with Brandon Moreno by finish, plus 130. Great value there. He wants to make a statement, and he's going to do it in front of the fans here against Brandon Royval. He already fought him once in the first round, was looking good, got the fight to the ground, had his back for a couple minutes, was searching for the submission, and if he has more time, and he is definitely levels ahead of Brandon Royval at this point in his career, and he's hungry as hell. He wants to fight Pantoja for that third time. Moreno has more durability in my opinion. He has a better striking defense. He's a better grappler, and he's getting this done. And next up, I'm going to give you the first of two value props. And I said I wasn't overly confident in this one. Edgar Cheras by submission, plus 200. Now, it's a 3x. It's worth a shot, man. He should have won the first fight by a submission. I don't know if Lacerda actually went out or not. It looked pretty deep, that submission. I don't know if he was ever going to get out of it. He probably did go to sleep at one point. But you got to think this is going to happen again. And I don't want things to happen that I know are going to happen and not get paid, if you know what I'm saying. So let's hit it. And the next value prop might be a long shot, but it is worth the sprinkle. We got Raul Rosas Jr., KO, TKO, or DQ, plus 1100. He won his last fight by knockout, but it was Terrence Mitchell, who is not very good and gets knocked out by anybody, just like Shannon Ross. Like, it doesn't take a whole lot to knock those kind of guys out. But the thing is, Rosas Jr., he's been putting in work. And I believe Ricky Turcios doesn't have the best striking defense. He can get hit. And even though it was just Terrence Mitchell last fight, I was still impressed with his striking. How can you not be? The kid's 19 years old. He's a stud. And he's going to fight for your money. Hopefully he doesn't gas out. Hopefully he's fueled up, ready to go. And if he doesn't cash his plus 1100 long shot, look at the submission, look at inside the distance, play him on the money line. He's a lock of the goddamn week. All the props easily could go to MASH, but I have confidence they're going to pay for some hash because we got Jesus Aguilar, round 1 TKO, and this guy grinds it out. He's durable as hell. He's another Mexican, right? And his last fight, he won by knockout, just like Rosas Jr., very first round. And he's going to come in there, maybe do the same thing. Nate Maness just knocked out Mateus Mendonca, where we've seen low-level IQ and some very bad decision-making. So we see that again. Jesus Aguilar will capitalize. If he doesn't get the first round knockout, he might get the first round finish by submission. He has a bunch of submissions on the record, and he's going to be looking for another finish in front of the fans. No doubt about that. I think a lot of these Mexicans are going to win, but at the end of the day, I was trying to think which Mexican is really going to drop the bag and not get the job done in front of the fans. So we're going to think about that as we do the Parlay Parfaits, which is coming up very soon. I first want to go over the two Parlay Parfaits I made up for UFC 298 now. The first was a 5-leg, and it was 9x. It was the fight to go the distance for Andrea Lee and Miranda Maverick. Danny Barlow, KO, TKO, or DQ, under 1.5 for Ming Yang Zhang and Brenton Ribeiro. Merab Devashvili and Robert Whittaker on the money line. And it absolutely hit. I didn't even bet it. Because, as I said, add on Volk if you have the balls. It's right here in front of me on Discord. And the bet under it was a 6-leg for 16x with Volkanovski. And I bet it. I put 10 on it. Sometimes I don't really know why I don't take my own advice and be smart. Like I said, I didn't even bet this 5-leg. And it hit. I could have put a unit down and been profitable. Like, I could have put 2 units down, 3 units down. That was a really good parlay that I made up live on the show, the last post-weigh-in face-off show. So let's get right to it. I got Bet365 opened up in front of me, and I want to make you guys some money on this card. I want to tell you which fights we should maybe stay away from. And I'm only going to make up the one Parlay Parfait right now on the show. And then I got some work to do before the fight night. So make sure you join Patreon for $5 a month. You get early access to the picks, the confidence levels, method of victories, and you get all the bets. And we had the first fight of the night on the Parlay Parfait at UFC 298, Lee and Maverick to go the distance. But this time, I want you to add on Mohamed Naimov knockout plus 160. That's the first leg we're going to look at here. And the next fight I'm going to fade putting on this parlay. He is my pick though, Felipe Dos Santos. Don't want to go against the Mexican on this parlay. Victor Altamirano is kind of tricky and he's a grinder, but I don't think he's going to win. I'm not going with every single Mexican on this card. This is probably one of them that's going to lose. Bookmakers are sharp to it. Would probably be safe to add Felipe Dos Santos on this, but I don't want to put too much stock in that Manel Cop loss. Let's see how he performs in this fight. Then we'll put him in some parlays. Next up, Ronaldo Rodriguez. Let's put him on the money line here just in case he gets the knockout. The forecast of the week is him by a decision. So we're not going to play this one too crazy. We'll just play him on the money line. And the next fight would be Claudio Poopy Pants and Faris Zayam. And Claudio's probably going to be butt scratching this whole fight. Looking to pull guard, look for a submission. And Faris Zayam should win this fight, win it by a decision, but we're not going to add it on. We're going to fade this one as well. Along with the next one, the 4-1 underdog Daniel Lacerda. Actually, you know what? This fight ain't going the distance. That's for sure. I'll add on the fight to go under 1.5. Lacerda has been finished or has gotten the finish in every single fight he's been in, and it's usually in the very first round, so I don't see this fight lasting too long. When the ref stopped in last time, it was in the very first round. So there's 5 minutes to work. Just like Ming Yang Zhang and Brenson Ribeiro. Lacerda at this price could easily cash. He has a bunch of finishing potential. And either way, this fight is not going too deep into that second round. Play that fight under 1.5. And this 3-leg right now is 7x. We're going to look to add on 2 more. Make it a 5-leg parlay. Maybe a 4-leg. Maybe a 4-leg. We want to be pretty safe here and look to go maybe heavy. Go heavy. Make sure we get paid because you can't go too light on this Parlay Parfait. Last week it fucking crushed. And the rest of the prelims we're not going to put on because we got Jesus Aguilar, the dog of the week. We don't need to get that in a parlay. Raoni Barcelos at his age and that price, probably not worth parlaying. And Manuel Torres, I expect that one to be a finish with Chris Duncan. But both of them are durable. And I could see that fight going the distance. But Manuel Torres, in front of the fans, should get it done. Should be parlayable at 157. I got to think he gets it done. Most likely by the knockout, which sits at 220 right now. He's fast. I think he's durable. We haven't really seen him tested. That's the problem. We've seen Chris Duncan tested, and he can only handle so much. Let's just leave this one off now, because I just want to see Manuel Torres against competition a little bit higher level than Nicholas Mota, even though Mota came off a big win his last one. Mota was getting finished and was almost on his way out. We're not even going to dip our fingers into this 6-1 underdog Sam Hughes against Yasmin Jauregui, who is looking fine, but I don't know. Can she cover at this price? She's obviously very favorited to win this decision. She should be the cleaner striker, more accurate, get more volume, impress the fans, but this is another one, I don't know. This price is a little bit too wide. When this is all said and done, I don't know if she's going to look 6-1. She should win. I'm not even going to fucking talk about it any longer. We got 4 more fights left here on the board. We're going to tag on 2 of them. 3 of them are locks, so 1 lock is going to have to get left behind here. And it's not going to be the main event, Brandon Moreno, so we'll talk about that in a minute. Now, some of you might not like the 19-year-old. That's all right. I could leave that one off, but the thing is, a bunch of you like Brian Ortega. He's the underdog this week for some of you, and I understand that. T-City, I like him a lot as a fighter, but 2 years is a little bit too long, and Yair has been active. He finished Josh Emmett. Ilya Taporia couldn't finish Josh Emmett. And I know in that first fight there wasn't much to go off, but from what I seen, Yair was touching him up on the feet. He was a much better striker. Ortega didn't want to stand and bang too long. And he was just looking to push him up against the cage, make the fight boring. And the crowd's going to be booing him if he does that here. I think Yair finds a finish eventually in this fight. It's a 5-round fight too, so we're in for 25 minutes. It's going to be a good fight all around. We should see the fight go to the ground maybe at one point. See it back standing. Maybe it'll go back to the ground. Even though he is a lock of the week, I really hope this fight is entertaining and gets to be a little back and forth at one point. I don't mind sweating it out a little. I'm pretty confident Yair gets his hand raised when it's all said and done. And that's all what matters. It doesn't matter if he gets it done by a greasy split decision or an incredible finish, to be honest. Like, as long as I get paid and my bet wins, that's all what matters. And you guys know that. So yeah, I think that convinced me. Yair Rodriguez, money line all day long. Knockout, submission, or a decision. This guy's getting his hand raised. And the fifth leg, let's just tag on Brandon Moreno, because Royval, the kid's a gangster. And he might not get finished, so that's just what it is. We'll have the two guys on the money line to finish it off, just like we did at UFC 298. Let's get paid. And if you have not yet, suplex that subscribe button. Smash the hell of the like button before you go. Join Discord for absolutely free. If you got $5, join Patreon. All the links are in the bio below. Cheers, everybody. Hopefully everybody has a great week. Make some money. And don't be afraid to say hello in the comments below. It really helps with the algorithm. I really appreciate that support. And let's go get this money.